でカプコンさんのクローバー時代の、ゲーム
So from back then, when they were in Capcom, when he was working in Clover, I loved the titles they were making. Especially Okami had a huge impact on me. That game, I remember when I was playing it, the action felt so good. It made so much sense with the artwork that I played through some levels, and then I just had to stop. I couldn't play anymore. I was too jealous about the good game they had in hands. That's how much I like their games. So from back then, I have been thinking, someday I will make, with their action elements, we will challenge the world, making great games. And well, this time maybe it wasn't the ideal process, the way we got working with them, but I'm very honored to be working with them.
最初にですね、神谷さんディレクション
So the first thing I did was I went with Mr. Inaba and told him, I want Kamiya to direct this game. But then Inaba told me, if you work with Kamiya, you will be delayed, and you will be very delayed. So I thought about it.
でもう一個は神谷さんとライジング
So, and another thing is, I wanted to work with Mr. Kamiya in Rising or other projects, but he said, oh, well, there's this whole game in Konami called Getsufumaden, and he said, that's the only title I care about it for Konami. So I had to think about it, and well, I had to give up working with Mr. Kamiya.
まあスケジュールの問題もあるんですけど、一番の理由は神谷とやると絶対小島監督と神谷が大喧嘩するのが目に見えてるんで。
So being completely honest, I was worried about the schedule, but more than that, I could clearly see that at some point, if they work together, Mr. Kojima and Kamiya were going to have a huge fight, and I had to step in as the producer. I didn't want to be a part of that, not even if I was dead. So I would love to see them fight, but not if I have to be involved. So that was my advice.
で今回のディレクションはプラチナゲームさんの方のディレクターなんですが
So for the director of this game, we are not announcing him at this point. You will have to wait for that. But it's someone from Platinum. It's the team itself that is working on the development. It's been a team that has been working with Mr. Kamiya for about 10 years. They had great experience at making action games.
普通でも服でも映像でも早く作ってほしいときは特急料金ってあると思うんですけど
Every time you need someone to make something faster, close, or whatever you want to make them faster, I think there's a special fee like turbo speed or something, but I think they don't get that at Konami. They just keep it telling from Kojima Productions, make it faster, but no special fee for that.
ハイスピードアクションですからね
It's high speed action.
彼がさっきゴッドハンドのこと言ってましたけど、ゴッドハンドはすごくマニアックなゲームだと思ってるし、それはそれですごくいい。
So you mentioned, your hand was mentioned. That was a very hardcore game. I love that, but I don't want to take Metal Gear Rising that direction. And I also don't want to be like plain and too simple. I want that game to be in the sweet spot of action games where you have fun, but it has some depth.
会社を立ち上げたばっかり。
When we just started in Platinum Games, we had nothing. The only thing we could work on was on original games. That's the reason, and well, we thought we were confident that we could make original properties, so that's what we work on that. One thing about Platinum Games, I'm the only producer that we have, so if I'm not excited about a game, we will never work on that. And the problem about Metal Gear Rising was that when they proposed this project, I was really, really excited about that project. At that point, I think I had already lost the battle. I didn't care about how much I was going to be, my staff was going to have a hard time. I didn't even consider thought about it being an original project or other people's IP. It was just about me being very excited about the project, and well, that was it. Yeah. It was not in the summer of 2010. It was probably by the end of end of last year when they started on working on this project. Was at the beginning of 2011. They started working on the project by the start of 2011. So they weren't still working on that in summer 2012.
確かにうちは規模は大きい。
Certainly, we are not a very big studio. I think we're a very small studio, but one thing that we have is that we are very based on the talent, on the abilities of each individual we have. So every person works the amount of person for for 3 people. Their talents really come in hand. So I think people would be very surprised by other companies would be surprised at how small our teams are. But then again, I'm very confident that our quality isn't lesser of anyone. We're as good as anyone out there.
コジプロは一人で何人分ぐらい働いてもらってる
In Kojima Productions, how many people work per person? Like one person makes how many people?
2.5ぐらいです。
2.5 あちょっと低いです
2.5 people. Every person makes the work of 2.5 people. Oh, we won.
僕が20人分ぐらい働いてる。
I work about 20 people's worth.
多分プラチナは僕がワク
In
ワク
Platinum, probably the more I'm excited about anything and the more I'm excited about something, those 3 may become 4 people that each person has to work for, but they're making a great job so far.
僕らもですね、小島プロダクションの元となったその時、メタルギアソリッド1を作った時はですね、20名か30名で作った。
So in Kojima Productions, when we made Metal Gear Solid 1, our team had like 20, 30 team members. Right now in Kojima Productions, we are working with around 200 people. The people, well, working with them, they remind me a lot of many things because we are working in a somehow international style, North American or European style development. So when I take my team members to Osaka to see how Platinum Games are working, they are very impressed.
とにかく僕らも十数年前はそうだったんですけ
So
ども、
we were working like them 10 plus years ago. We were working like this next to each other. They had, well, I saw what they do. They have no time for meetings. They know exactly what the person next to them is working on, so the decisions are not done in meetings, but right there on the spot. They have real-time decisions, feedback. You know exactly the results of everything you said right there on the spot. It's a very old-style way they're working in Osaka. So I found that I took my team members. When we came back to Kojima Productions, they were seriously depressed.
そういうふうに見えるっていうのはちょっと僕不思議なんですけども、日本のスタジオで
I find it very interesting that you think we're so different because I think they, like something like the soul of making games, the will to make games. I think that's the, Platinum Games is the closest studio there is, at least in Japan. We are really close to them in that regards. Now, when you think of action in Japan, Japanese companies, Japan games, they're by far the best. So I had no doubts in my mind when I approached them. I love Mr. Kamiya, Mr. Inaba. I love them both. I thought, well, this is a chance for us to work together and see if we are friends for real or not.
あと僕も関西育ちで、コナミ
Well, Platinum Games, they are in Kansai area of Japan. I am from that area as well. Actually, Konami comes from that same area, from the Kansai area in Japan, from Osaka. Also, Mr. Minami, the CEO and president of Platinum Games, he is from Osaka. My friendship with Mr. Minami goes even back far, more than 10 years of relationship with him. There's a very interesting thing about this Kansai area. In Japan in general, the perception towards entertainment isn't that good. It's negative, but in the Kansai region, it's positive. There's a positive reception, such as an attitude there is in North America regarding entertainment. Also, Mr. Miyamoto is from the Kansai area. Actually, more than around 40% of the people that are game developers come from the Kansai area in Japan. We have that feeling that we can put our lives to entertain people, for people to have fun. So that's something that we have a lot in common.
なんかそこまで言われると恐ろしい
That's very scary to hear. And sitting right next to him, I think the appropriate answer would be, I will try to fulfill your expectations. But honestly speaking, I think I have to challenge Kojima Productions, keep trying to go over them, keep trying to challenge them. That's what I honestly think.
これで期待外れ
And if I don't meet his expectations, next time I see Mr. Kojima in a party, I'm sure you will ignore me, right?
素通りじゃなくて
No, I won't ignore you. I will just cut you by in half.